All right, so we're gonna do a little morning warm up here. And so the first thing that you're gonna do when you get out of bed, hopefully you've walked around a little bit and warmed your body up just a smidge, but you're gonna get on your hands and knees and we're gonna kind of rock your hips back and forth. You're just gonna kind of get some movement in your hips. It's a great place to have your knees planted and then you're moving your hips on your knees. You can do a couple pelvic tilts here, that's fine. Another thing I like to do is in and out with the foot, just a couple times. All right. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do wide knees, feet together, a little bit of arch in the back, and then you're gonna push back to child's pose. And let's do about 3 breaths here. So in the morning, I'm really trying to expand behind my back. All right, you can even prop here. So I'm trying to get that expansion and that stretch upward toward the ceiling. Good. All right. And then if your wrists are a little bit achy in the morning, I just want you to spin them. We're gonna do some upper body stretches here. We can do some just big reaches, or you can do kind of an official shoulder control articulation here. So thumbs back when you come back to the sides, and then the thumbs lead on the way back. They turn, and then they're coming up. So let's just stay here. We'll do a couple more of these. So thumbs up. You can sit in whatever position is comfortable for you. You could even do this standing before you lay down on your mat. And then as you reach this limit with your thumbs back, you're gonna spin your palms outward and start to reach, 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 reach. Remember, this movement comes from your shoulder blades too. So pinching those shoulder blades back. Good. Almost thinking about you're wanting to like touch your thumbs back behind you. And then you actually come down to your hips with your palms facing out. And then you're gonna reverse it. So thumbs lead back. They kind of then spin in toward each other. You reach back a little bit more. And then you can twist the other way. So then palms out, thumbs up. As they lead back up toward your arms, now my palm, or toward your ears, now my palms are in, my thumbs are still up, and I come back down. So that's really a good one to do if you have any wrist pain or arm pain in the morning, to do a couple of those. It's also a good time to roll out the shoulders. You can do gentle neck side to side. All those motions. All right. So now we're back in this hands at ease position, and what I'm gonna have you do, this is a foot stretch. It's a whole body stretch, but it's as much a whole body stretch as a foot stretch. So I want you to make contact your whole foot on the ground as you reach that leg directly out to your side. All right, you're gonna leave whichever leg is out to the side, that's the hand you're gonna pick up. All right, and so you're gonna push strong through the mat, and you're gonna rotate open toward your leg out to the side. So think of your chest bone toward the leg out to the side. And then you're gonna come down and reach through, think chest bone to the underneath the opposite armpit. Breathe as you're doing this. Really think about reaching your heel out away from you, keeping that foot on the ground. You might feel the burn on the outside of the leg, that's okay. All right, I'm gonna have to turn for you because I've got this wall. So, but this is a good view. So you're gonna get that pinky toe in contact with the ground. You're gonna reach the heel out even a little further. Stick the hips back, right? So those butt bones, I want to reach back a little bit. And then you're gonna open toward that leg and rotate. Open and rotate, okay? If you feel any pinching in the hip, you just gotta do a little bit more hip movement before you're gonna get into this one. Good. All right, now I'm gonna turn back around for you. Now, at this point, you can do a couple things. You can tuck your toes under, stretch back. That's really good for the bottom of the foot, the ankles, to stretch in your big toe. You can go ahead and do another child's pose. All right, if you feel ready, go ahead and tuck your toes, wrists and hands on the ground. You're gonna stick your tailbone up toward the ceiling, and then you can do a little bit of a down dog. If this is not comfortable right now, you just go to your modified a little bit later. So this is a modified down dog by counter stretch. You can wiggle it out there. So either option you have here. All right, and then you're gonna come back down. Now we're gonna take some big cat cows now. So arch, tailbone, head to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale. Bring your chin to chest, push that ground away as far as you can. And I want you to get a nice round in your upper back. And then make sure you are rounding here. So one thing that you can do is you can keep that curve and you can shift back and forth. I don't care, we're curious about movement at this point in the morning. You can do circles, tailbone circles. So I'm just imagining making the circle with my tailbone. Okay, this is extra, but the key is I want you to be curious with this movement. So take a couple cat cows, shift those hips back and forth again. All right, we're gonna come off those wrists for just a minute. We're gonna change position. Just gonna give you a major stretch into your arms and yes, into your wrists. So just take a little minute to get those wrists, get those fingers going. And you're gonna come sitting on your butt. You're gonna point your fingers back toward your heels. Bring your heels up underneath of you. All right, so we're gonna kind of get set here and then we're gonna push the ground away and open our chest up to the ceiling. And then you're gonna lift the hips up. All right, so I take the tension off my wrists by pushing with my fingers and everything up. So this, I feel more pressure on my wrist, but as I push up, now I'm pushing through my shoulders as I'm pressing up. So this is a big stretch for your lats and your pecs. All right, and I like to go up and down. You can do a couple breaths and hold. It's okay to feel some numbness and tingling. All right. Okay, I've got one more on the ground for you, and then we're done. So you're gonna come back to this hands and knees position, and what you're gonna do is you're going to see this wall. I'm gonna imagine myself bumped up against that wall. I'm not going to be because I need that leg down, but I'm gonna imagine my body, the back of my body up against that wall. This arm's underneath my shoulder. I feel good about that. This knee is pretty much in line with my hand, and this leg is reaching out in line with both my hand and my knee. And then I'm gonna open up my shoulders. So I'm gonna come here, reach, remember big, big, big. All right, this is about circulation, so we're trying to get that expansion. So you're gonna push through your wrists, ground through your foot, and then let's just take a couple reaches over and then back. Make sure you're breathing with this. You can do a couple and then do a couple extra breaths into that rib cage on top. All right, switch. So you're gonna spin on the opposite knee out. I call this a kickstand. You're gonna ground through that opposite foot. Hand is strong. You're gonna get long first, big first, and then you're gonna stretch. All right, so just a couple, and then I usually just end, I come back to child's pose. It's a good time to just let your wrists and your hands take a break. You can stretch your hands the opposite way, so in this way toward each other. Wiggle it out. All right, here is the thing, if you do, we want to be conscious of the pain in your wrists, but if you're not used to that, it will be painful. What I don't want is a sharp or a pinch. But if it's just building pressure or a burning sensation or numb, tingly, that's okay. You're not going to be doing damage, especially if you take time in between and just kind of check in. All right, so that's pretty much a full body program for you. And then that should work really, really well in the morning to get some blood flow.